Microsoft comes out with Windows 2020, which is just as bad as this year. What are some of the problems with it? Edge only shows you election results showing Trump winning. So many bugs. The calendar seems to switch between the days and dated near constantly. You can't disable the new social function that shows you the profiles of Windows users near you. Someone figures out how to spread a virus through their profile, and it slowly spreads until nearly every Windows user's computer has a virus that can completely brick it. Com vulnerability was basically this for XP. It used a buffer overflow of RPC call to both infect 2000/XP machines. The only thing it lacks is social media integration. It used Windows Update instead. Having lived through the Win95 years, this post gave me PTSD flashbacks. Spending half a day reinstalling 95, then finding that the sound card or modem drivers wouldn't load. So the other half of the day was trying to get the drivers right. Sound Blaster and Nick both get IRQ5. Switch Nick to IRQ11, nope. Switch Sound Blaster to IRQ11 and it works. Until next reinstall or you replace the NIC or SB and it's repeat above steps. Sound Blaster. Every time you plug in a cable, a random one pops out. I imagined this like a lights out game, with USB cables. The blue screen of death is ultraviolet. A bloated virtual assistant you can't turn off, a file explorer that works worse than new applications you can't turn off, foisted on you at Microsoft's whim in the interest of pushing their other products, inscrutable admin account settings, constant probing to get location data. Oh wait, these are all just Windows 10. If I was less lazy I'd have Linux by now. A little sign in here, a touch of Wi-Fi there. The first part of setting up a new computer/Windows install is racing to the mute button. The first part of setting up Windows 10 is making sure that the network isn't connected so that I can use local accounts. Every time you click, your pointer goes 0.5 into the right and clicks there. Not every time, just randomly, so you can't just click a little off to the left. You can only use Internet Explorer. The system is so heavy that it will consume 95% of your RAM. It will have ads every 5 minutes. Isn't that just Windows 10? Damn, someone saw through my facade. It automatically installs Windows Vista and runs both operating systems at the same time. They partner with EA and make everything a microtransaction. Oh, you wanted a calendar? Well, it'll be 99 cents. Oh, you need Internet Explorer to download a good browser? Better cough up that $4.99 for the Internet DLC. App Store now sells tiered packs with random apps, and the packs you buy almost never includes the app you really wanted/needed. Windows Defender attempts to heal computer by quarantining random files. Any files remaining must be in their own directories, 6 folders away from other files. All Chinese language packs are blocked. They add a third control panel and name it Preferences. Now you cannot find anything. They disable handwriting input altogether, since there were not many Windows 10 users who used it, cause it was shitter that before. You now must buy certain features, like changing lock screen background, separately, not included in activation. Of course that is assuming your activation even works, as your key is probs gonna be OEM since this is a new operating system. To clean reinstall you must buy the software with a new key every time. After all, the OS is flawless. Why would users need to reinstall? The OS makes it so that if you do choose to revert to your original OS, it runs slower. This list can go on. It has a virus that changes everything you type into during these troubling times. It's just a re-release of Windows Me with a Vista skin. Also, it doesn't include Pinball or Minesweeper. Well now, hol up there, Satan. Clippy returns edit, thanks for my first silver. And he never shuts up about just how great he is. I see that you're writing a resume. I have the best words, thesaurus. What's a saurus? I'm gonna go play Minesweeper in the private window now and hog all of the RAM. Windows Defender refuses to acknowledge there's a virus on your computer despite all of your data being randomly deleted in front of you. levinpolka.mp3. Having any kind of antivirus software running makes it freeze up immediately. For Windows to work at all, you must allow applications without a developer signature to run. All applications require administrative privileges to run, and if you disallow anything access to your location or camera, the whole system freezes. The default font is Curls Mount. You can change the font, but only to Wingdings. Microsoft Edge is the only browser that works. There is no dark mode for anything, and the only color schemes you can choose from are highlighter orange or shit brown. You get to pop up about an update for iTunes for Windows every night at 9:07. Even though you do not have iTunes for Windows, it comes with antivirus, but it doesn't actually do anything. You cannot remove this antivirus or install a different one, because the antivirus that comes with Windows 2020 actually does do one thing: it deletes all other antivirus software you install on the computer. This is gonna be a controversial take, but Edge Chromium is pretty great. Not that controversial of a take, it's been pretty well received, to the shock of many, given how much of a joke Microsoft's browsers have been for so long. Edge Chromium is a great browser, as long as you don't have ethical objections to the Chromium/Google piece, which is a noble position. I like it a lot so far. It even outperforms Firefox in my experience. It's nowhere near as bad as EA or the older Edge. It constantly pops up messages lying about how great it is. This is the best operating system, possibly ever. People are saying that. People are talking. This operating system, look, my uncle was a computer scientist at MIT. Good genes, I have very good genes. Very smart. Good genes. My uncle said, one day he said, you're very smart and one day you'll make the world's best operating system. People said it couldn't be done. Lots of people said it couldn't be done. The fake news media said it couldn't be done. Folks, they haven't figured out how smart I am. But this operating system, and my uncle was right, by the way, folks, my uncle has been proven right. Very smart man. This is simply the best, most fabulous operating system that the world has ever seen. Doesn't get any better than, look, it's gonna be another 10, 20, 50 years before someone beats us. Maybe it'll be me, who knows. This is the only thing I will miss about the Trump presidency. The memes and jokes ripping on him are funny, but good riddance, the man-child had to go. Every day there is a big update and gets reverted of it other day. You're thinking of Adobe. RIP, it's Windows Vista all over again. Move the search bar to a location that makes absolutely no sense at all and don't include any way for the user to move it back. Make it so if you double-click on one particular pixel within one cell of your worksheet, it sends the focus to Never Never Land and you have to search to go back to the cell you were just trying to use. Oh wait. Greater than puts start button in dead center of screen, greater than always in foreground, if M with games or browsers running. It comes with a virus. The virus protection actually protects the virus. Windows Defender answers only to the virus. I think that's just called Windows 10. Keyboard layout defaults to Italian keyboard layout. System locale also defaults to Japan, so it causes issue recognizing some characters. The time zone, regardless of where you are, it always sets back to PDT because somehow in their updates Microsoft broke its own internet time site. Every update breaks the OS or other Microsoft apps. Oh wait. It uses a neural network to determine which document on your computer is the most important to you, and then corrupts it beyond repair. Also, it includes advertisements in most menus, crashes when you're just about to save your files, and bricks your computer if it detects that you're preparing to install a Linux distro instead. And if you try to pull the hard drive out, you get an electric shock. The system thinks Windows Defender and Firewall are malware.